everybody, and welcome back. It's me, Shweebe, and welcome to May I Take Your Order. This is a short horror visual novel that I found on Itch.io, and I've been meaning to play it for a while, and I figure, 'tis the season, why not? We play as a waiter, and we serve some customers that have some very peculiar tastes, and if this has anything to go by, I'm sure it's very, very strange. But anyways, let's go ahead and start. Apparently it says 5 endings. We'll see what we can get. Alright, I've been filling out a few applications today, and this is the last one. I've been applying to work at restaurants all over. It might not seem glamorous, but I want to see how different places are run. If I want to open my own restaurant someday, it's crucial to see what does and doesn't work. A friend told me I should save my top pick for last, and I should really kick him for that. My hand's about to fall off. It's a pretty ritzy establishment, but comfortable. Fancy, but not overpriced. Important clientele, but still kind of inclusive. That's not too bad. If you can't make connections here, you're dead. Wow. That sounds like a dream come true, right? Oh, financially speaking. And the food, remarkable. I've never heard of anyone ever having a bad meal there. I gotta know how they accomplish so much. Passion, pride in their work. So I try not to be too nervous and fill this out like it's any other application. My first name is Shweebe. The Fabulous. Wow, I can't spell, that's okay. There we go, Shweebe the Fabulous. Wow, that looks exactly like my handwriting, just a chicken dancing all over the paper. I fill in my address, try not to despair over my handwriting before getting to the personal section. Gender is female. At least I'm pretty sure. And I finished filling out the form. I cap the pen and lean back in my chair. Man, it's nice to be done. Well, except for heading outside and turning them all in one at a time. Oh, I hate doing that. Oh, that's probably and then just wait to get that phone call. Well, we'll let you know. Whatever. It's the most depressing thing in the world. I better get to it. Ooh. 2 weeks later. And I'm waist deep in my first Saturday shift at the restaurant. Busy doesn't even begin to describe it. After 7 hours of the weekend rush, I'm ready to go home. Oh, he's cute. I stop off at table 6 and go through the motions. Thank you for dining with us, sir. My name is Shweebe the Fabulous, and I'll be your server this evening. He smiles at me. Pleased to meet you, Miss Shweebe the Fabulous. Have you dined with us before, sir? Yes, indeed. I'm quite happy to be back. Just you this evening, sir? No, my girlfriend will be here shortly. I'll just have a cup of coffee while I wait for her. Fabulous choice. I always recommend the coffee. I'll go get that for you right away then. No rush. It's gonna be piping hot either way, baby. You're gonna drink it, you're gonna be happy. Countless families and couples have come and gone today, but for the past hour, that one guy's been clogging up table 6. Are you doing alright, sir? He checks his watch again. Yes, I mistook the time. She'll be here any second. He's been saying that for the past 45 minutes. Oh, did he get stood up? That's rude AF. If you don't want to be with the person, just go ahead and outright decline them. Don't be rude. Dang. I tell him to pack it up and leave, but he doesn't have the look I'd expect of someone in his position. There's anxiety, but only a little bit, and there's no disappointment. Not a shred of doubt in his eyes. He really thinks, excuse me. He looks up at me. It seems he's come to some sort of decision. Thank goodness. But this is a restaurant with crayons, correct? Yes, sir. We have those for kids. Excellent. A sting of ferocity enters his eyes, one that doesn't quite pair naturally with crayons. Hey, crayons are not exclusive to kids, alright? It is for the creative and that just wish to be artsy-fartsy at the moment. You leave this guy alone. God. One, please, and red if you've got it. Yeah, sure. I'm not about to argue with a customer, so I head to the front. It's not exactly usual, but the guy has been sitting here for a half an hour with no phone. I'm caught between pity, irritation, and hope for the umpteenth time that he has enough empathy to tip well on that single cup of coffee he's been nursing. There's a small tin with several crayons. We try to keep fresh ones, really. I grab a red crayon. We're gonna try and play it by what they ask for, because apparently there's 5 different endings, and we're gonna try and get all of them. I snatch up a red crayon. No sense being mean to him. He may be weird, but he's probably having a bad night, too. I bring the crayon back over to him and hand it over. Thank you, Miss Shweebe the Fabulous. It's no big deal. Hey, are you okay? I saw you don't have a cell phone, but we could call your girlfriend and... No warning, no nothing. He knocks everything off the table and climbs right on. Excuse me, we are in an establishment of food, you heathen. What is going on? Sir? Please get down. His deft hand scrawls a wide circle, then another, then sections off areas, slicing as though the crown were a knife. Okay, nothing unusual about that at all. I didn't take you for an alchemist. That's what I'm gonna tell myself. It's alchemy. He fills it with symbols. They look almost like zodiac signs. I couldn't pronounce half that if I wanted to. Ramen soup, noodles, and beef, chicken with tomato bits and cheese and egg. Poof, what did we get? It's like I stood up too fast. There's a rushing to my head. There's pressure. Like my ears are going to pop. Oh, what? He killed me! What happened? Ah! Oh, what? Ah! The tablecloth rips and there's a spray of sweet-smelling fluid. I leap away from the table as something bursts out. Whoa, my God! He summoned Cthulhian babies! Wet, spiked appendages are flailing all over, slapping and snaking their way over the windows and doors. They're fleshy, but soft. Too soft. And they mush and disfigure as they slam against everything in sight. One smacks the hat off another diner, who continues to eat their meal. Her meal. Unfazed. Can they not see this thing? Nobody is screaming. And nobody notices me on the ground, arms raised to protect my face and throat, too tight to scream again. But that's okay. The thing is screaming enough for the entire restaurant. It's letting out a dual-toned screech, high and low, but I can't discern one throat, let alone two. Cran thrown to the floor, the stood-up guy, and worst diner ever, starts to call out at it. Sweetie! For goodness sake, put your body on. We're in a nice restaurant. It screeches and roars back at him. I know, but... He waves a bundle of cloth at it. I brought you some clothing, and it's super comfy. I don't like the sound effect. It's really gross and squishy. Ugh. It slurps up the bundle of fabric, and the creature bubbles and draws back in on itself, twisting until... Oh! That's adorable. I emerge. You're here! And she looks annoyed. You had me worried, so I figured I'd help break the barrier down a bit. Teleporia? Teleporia, you have no idea how good it is to see you. When he said that word, my ears finally pop and my teeth grit. It's a bad word. It's not a curse word per se, not so much a word you wouldn't say in front of your boss. It feels like the wrong answer in a classroom or meeting. That moment when everyone turns and looks at you, and you just want to sink through the floor. I just want to sink through the floor. I want to very quietly go get my coat and change my name and move to whatever town is on the exact opposite point on the globe from where I am currently standing. If this is indeed an actual Cthulhian god or Lovecraftian lore person, yeah, you don't say their name. But, I mean, if they are dating, maybe, I don't know. Oh my God, she's gonna eat him. She's gonna eat him right now.
You informed me that the barrier was to be frail in this portion of your world. I will hold you responsible for the trouble.
He's beaming at the thing that came out of the hole, but I can't look at it. It hurts to roll my eyeballs toward it like I'm dehydrated. 'Cause it's a Cthulhian god. Of course! When I close my eyes, the dark behind my eyelids is so cool and so soft. Huh. There are tears running down my cheeks. I hadn't noticed. The guy, Hendrik, beams and gestures toward the gaggle of eyes and puffy wool. This is my girlfriend, Teleporia.
Impudent microbe! I may choose to craft for myself the form of a creator, a birthing one, but I am capable of far greater creations than your prepubescent females. And far more
What?
erroneously, your inflated ego thinks I would deign to refer to you as any form of companion?
Her words wash over him like a gentle breeze. It looks like she could rip his face off, but her roars just make his eyes brim with joy. Okay, I get it. Overly affectionate happy one meets tsundere. That's what it is. We've been dating for about 400 years now. Wait a second. Hendrik, what are you? I have questions. And though the long distance thing is an eensy bit of an annoyance, we make it work.
The moment I finally devise an effective method of accomplishing your demise, I will rip your soul from your ever-regenerating body and chew it to a gruel.
Okay, so he's immortal of some kind. Oh my god. It's Deadpool. He sits down at the all-but-destroyed table and picks up his menu. But until that beautiful day when I can be with you forever, you're going to need to eat something else. Teleporia stops. She looks at me, and I bounce between eyes trying to make contact with one that doesn't stare down into my deepest inadequacies. English is hard.
There is human fuel here?
I nod. Her mouth breaks open into a smile. Actually, she's really cute. I don't care what anybody says.
Excellent! You are spared from punishment. Hendrik, if only for the moment.
She sits down, but not on a chair. Dozens of her tentacles are still present throughout the entire room, spikes driven deep into the surfaces, blocking all the exits. She settles into one of the many squishy appendages, looking pleased. So then, maybe we should order an appetizer. It's not that I can't believe that this is happening. I have an open mind. Really, I do. But as far as sudden supernatural shifts to my life, I was really hoping for wizard school. Hell yes. Or just a plain old haunting. No, thank you on that one, though. Monsters, though. Hell yeah. Give me that. Some ghosts are pretty cool, right? At least with a zombie or something, I'd know the rules here. What are the rules with this thing? Do I throw rice on the ground to stall her? Will she attack me if I touch her with iron? I'd listen to my gut, but I can't make out anything but general foreboding. Clearly, somebody didn't get into Lovecraftian lore at all. Demon? You summon demons, so that fits? But I don't know, something doesn't seem quite right about that. Maybe she's excuse me? Oh! I can barely think, but I can at least fall back on one set of rules. I struggled to stutter out the rote reply. Would you like to start off with soup or salad tonight? The man grins and gives an eager nod. Can I please get the blue cheese salad? And for my sweetie, blue cheese? Oh my god. No, it's too strong. It's gross. The teleporter rolls her eyes and her teeth flash as she cuts in.
Hendrik, I've been on enough of these sham dates to know that ordering for your companion is rude.
His face falls. But it's been ages since you've eaten any food. You're chewing on the fork right now. She gives him a glare and slowly places the slightly bent cutlery back down on the table.
Fine.
But before he can say another word, she makes her move.
I don't want your advice, though. I want the young human to choose for me.
Oh, God. He sighs, annoyed. But he checks himself before looking at me. I think he knows that she's putting me on the spot. I can appreciate that he's trying to look out for me. I mean, I would too. Clearly, he knows how to deal with her. I wouldn't. I've never met a Cthulian god before. What the heck? I mean, but I'd appreciate it a bit more if he could have not summoned some kind of eldritch thing during an already busy Saturday shift. I want to know why the other customers aren't the least bit perturbed by this. Like, is this normal? It's gotta be, though. Because, like, nobody screamed. Maybe they just can't see her. Maybe only these two can see each other. But then wouldn't they still be able to see us and we were flailing around on the floor? Maybe this is just normal. I have no idea. Or at all. I ease my throat open enough to squeak out, tomato bisque, Caesar salad, lamb chili. First of all, lamb is gross. I don't care what your opinion is on it. My opinion is it's nasty. I don't like it. It's a texture thing, and the flavor ain't good either. But she's an eldritch god. I don't want to say that I've got a whole lot of the lore memorized or anything, but I know enough. Some made of bisque would be good, I think. It looks like blood. I'm not sure if that matters. The Caesar salad is a Caesar salad, which is delicious. And lamb, chili, it's hot. I don't know if that's a good idea. Let's go with tomato bisque. We're doing tomato bisque. This doesn't seem to mean much of anything to her. Well, damn it. But we make a pretty killer tomato soup here, and it's popular with kids. I have no idea what flavors would taste good to her mouth. Exactly! Like, how the hell am I supposed to know what she would eat human food-wise? So it's best to stick with something with broad appeal. My eyes flit back over to Hendrik, and there's mild disappointment on his face. This isn't what he would have chosen. How am I supposed to know what he would have chosen? I am not a mind reader. What is this? But it looks like he can work with it. And what would you like for your entree? Ah! She slams a fist down on the table. My stomach lurches.
First bring me the matter. This physical form requires fuel to sustain itself.
I turn on my heel and fly out of there. An excuse to leave. Perfect! If there are any kindly extra-dimensional beings looking down on me right now, I would like to take this opportunity to thank them. Please don't let me get eaten by the eldritch god lady thing. Please, for the love of everything. No. I rush into the kitchen. Back in the kitchen, everyone's still bustling about. Other servers are calling in their orders. The ambitious cooks are working. The slightly less ambitious cooks are cracking jokes with each other. They're as oblivious as the customers out front. I can see my manager discussing some menu changes with the head chef. Hey, does anyone else see what's going on out there? But nobody turns to look at me. Hey, I'm serious. What the hell is going on? Are they ignoring me? Oh my god. What if... Oh my god, yeah, I think it's only the three can see each other as a form of, like, rules set in place with the runes and whatever. Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's so weird. Do you expect me to just come back here and bring in this order like nothing's wrong? I take a sarcastic tone. Yeah, we got a blue cheese and a bisque for table 6, just another usual night, right? Without warning, a tray with the order is put down on the counter next to me. But other than that, there's no hint of a glance and no guilty looks. Hey! Nobody even flinches. Fine. Looks like I'm on my own. And if they do see me, or us, the three of us, and are saying nothing, you assholes. Okay, just gonna say that right now. And did I tell you how lovely your eyes are this evening?
From your ever if...
What? From your ever effusive... What is this word? I've never seen this word before in my entire life. Whatever. Word.
Sewer pipe of compliments springs something worthwhile. I made most of them myself, but the eye in the center of my head was my reference object.
I couldn't even tell the difference. Your anatomy has gotten so much better since the last decade.
It is easier when I have a fresh supply of study materials. So I suppose I can remain here long enough to consume some matter. Let no sentient being claim that I do not repay my debts.
Well, that's just one of the perks of the job. Teachers can bring home knowledge, cooks can bring home food, and surgeons can bring spare body parts back to their girlfriends? What? Wait a minute. This hit a whole new... Okay. Wait, so then wouldn't tomato bisque be a good thing? Maybe? No, maybe we should have gone with lamb. Dang it. Whatever. I can say with relative certainty that this isn't how it works. If I ever find out this man's last name, I am never going to his hospital. Exactly. Does he do, like, amputees, like, every Thursday or something? Oh, amputations. Amputees. Again, English is hard. I serve Teleporia her bisque, trying not to get too close. Please be careful. It's very hot. Remember, sweetie, that's too much heat can injure...
Silence, meat garden! I know what to do with the volatile heat sources.
What? She flings the scalding liquid across the table and it hits Hendrik square in the chest. Wow, rude. He rushes out to the bathroom, face red from pain. We don't serve our soups at a heat that could do permanent damage, but that still has to hurt. She closes most of her eyes and inhales a deep breath, satisfied. When she speaks again, her rough voice has a tranquil tone.
Clean it up, human. This is an establishment with standards, is it not?
Well, it was, I mutter. The elegant charm might be a bit altered by the sudden presence of giant tentacles. She snuggles down into her seat.
This is a gift for your owners. This is a sliver of my true form.
Well, it's lovely. Sorry that you didn't like the bisque.
Apology unnecessary, human. I enjoyed that immensely.
She wraps the scarf around herself. Now that I think about it, the clothing Hendrik brought for her is all very heavy. A maxi skirt, a thick sweater, and a blanket scarf. The way you're clutching that scarf, are you cold?
You may not have my scarf. It retains my heat. I will continue to generate and retain heat, and I will belong to me, not you.
I take a step back. Yeah, I would too. She must just be cold. Just leave it at that. Don't bother asking. No, that's all your heat, fair and square. She growls. Happily.
Yes, all mine. Hendrik will be procuring more matter this evening, which will continue to power this form. Physical exertions is a luxury, the caloric energy necessary to move but a digit.
She lifts one of her own claws. Oh, fancy.
Is precious. I have gone for thousands of years lying in wait for foolish summoners to tear open rifts and let in the good heat from your world.
Well, if she's out in space, or wherever the heck she is, she must be freezing. So, Teleporia leans down on the table. The edges of the scarf trail into her bisque. Or at least what's left of it. Is it selfish to be happy that she's disarmed now? I look at the still present tentacles and recalculate that statement. She at least cannot harm me with the soup. And that's something.
So, human, how do you enjoy generating your own heat?
Quite well, thank you. During the winter times it's a little harder, but that's fine. It's good. I'd rather just turn on the heater, though. It's not great, really. Have you ever gotten sweaty? I like it. Physical activity is fun. We'll just do the top one. Whatever. So, tomato bisque, and I'd rather just turn on the heater. When it gets cold, I can't bring myself to do much of anything, so I'll just turn up the thermostat. She slams a hand down.
No! This is unacceptable! Lazy human! In the void, there is no heat. There are no suns off which to leech like some creature that lives off the blood of another.
I don't think she knows that the verb correlates to an actual animal. It sounds like she's been there since she first started existing, so therefore she doesn't quite understand how it works in this plane of existence. Gotta give her some kind of credit. Jeez.
You need to be more grateful.
And Hendrik returns. Thank God. Hendrik! Help your waifu, will you? Getting along well?
As well as might be expected.
Still, thank you for keeping her company. We'll eat our appetizers, and she shakes her head.
I'm finished with mine.
He laughs. Of course, how could I forget? So then, would you like to move on to the main course now? The next part of the meal.
Ah, yes, with the larger portions.
Of course, she seems excited for this part. I don't understand sitting down and eating like 5 different meals. I could barely make it through one on a normal day. I don't understand this process. Hendrik points to her menu. So what were you thinking about? I always liked steak, but I admit that I was kind of thinking about splurging on the...
Hey! Human Shweebe the Fabulous!
Did I tell her my name? Did I tell her my name? I don't remember telling her my name. I snap to attention. Yes, ma'am!
Choose! Do it promptly and wisely, or else I will need to consume something else for my main course.
She's staring me right in the eyes, and her gaze lingers on my mouth. What does that mean? What will you be? You cannot eat my tongue. That's weird, alright? We serve cow tongue, you can have that. It's still gross, but you can have that. She stares at my teeth and licks her lips. Are you a tooth fairy? What? What? I don't understand. Could she eat my teeth? You know what it is? I'm just looking like a snack, that's all. Well, I think you would enjoy porterhouse steak, a live lobster, the squid ink pasta? Is that a real thing? Ew. I have a feeling she'd probably prefer live lobster, but we're just gonna go through the top. We're gonna give her a porterhouse steak. Why not? Steak? Oh my god, she freaking loved that. Look at her eyes, they're just like, yay! She certainly recognizes that word. And I wouldn't normally recommend doing this, but there's a bone or a piece of cow skeleton in the steak. Maybe you might also be able to eat that?
Apparently, yes.
And I'll have the lobster, please. He looks a little embarrassed. It is a night for celebrating, you know? Hey, I don't mind. Rack up that bill. He chuckles, and I head off to the kitchen. Well, that's good, at least. The cooks prepare the dishes as usual and hand them off to me. Just like last time, never making eye contact or reacting to anything I say. I feel like that's probably the Eldritch Goddess Lady's person's doing. Like, do we have it to where we just place an order and they just kind of like subconsciously make it? But past that, they don't see us until she leaves. I have a feeling that's how that works. Maybe. Possibly. Both of these meals require special cutlery. I've got a lobster fork and a cracker for Hendrik, and a steak knife for Teleporia. The serrated edges gleam in the murky light. Is it really a good idea to hand a weapon like this over to her? Maybe not. I'm on my own here, and nobody will help me if she attacks me. Or maybe, since nobody else will help me, I have to deal with the situation myself. And possibly wind up getting eaten. Wonderful. She hasn't made a move to harm me yet, but she did do a number on the dining room. Will that stay when she leaves? Or when they leave? Or however that works? Ugh. It may only be a matter of time. As I look over at table 6, it's time to make a choice. What should I do with the knife? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to kill... Why? She has done nothing to us outside of wreck the dining room. I'm gonna do it, try to kill Teleporia. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to give it to Teleporia as though she were any other customer. That would be our safest bet. Let's just give her the dang fork. Good grief. Or knife. Cutlery. The pokey stabby thing that cuts the steak. Give it to her. Fighting them seems like a bad call. Yeah, she's got tentacles everywhere, honey. You think... Do we think, honestly, that we would get away with that unscathed? Do you think Hendrik won't jump in the way and be like, No. That's his waifu. Are you crazy? I feel like Hendrik would probably be just as terrifying as Teleporia. Just saying. And there's no sense in making things really awkward, right? Right. The night's going surprisingly well. And yeah, I'm going to count not dead yet as surprisingly well. Yeah. I serve the dishes as usual, placing the lobster cracker and fork by Hendrik, and the steak knife next to Teleporia's place. She glances at it, but not for more than a second. The only thing she's intent on attacking is her dinner. Bloody juice flies from the steak, dripping everywhere, pooling in her lap, sprinkling onto her seat, flinging onto the tablecloth. Is she a dog? Did that not matter? Speckling the crayon lines, which starts to buzz slowly. Should I call this to their attention? Excuse me, your summoning circle? They look up at me. I point to the table where the wood is already beginning to shimmer and warp. Oh, sweetie, you're opening the rift back up. He scrounges on the floor for a moment before sitting back up with the crayon. We watch as he crosses out a line here, smudges a line there until the table looks, if not normal, then at least... Eculadine. You'll look... What are these words? I have never seen these words before in my entire life. I'm just going to say fancy, alright? Immaculate. I don't know. I know this is a good time to retreat back to the kitchen, but I can't help but ask. So, did you just close the circle back up? It looked like the lines were already smudged before this. How precise do they need to be? He chuckles and picks up one of the lobster claws. This wasn't a circle for summoning or making a connection between realms. He places the claw inside the lobster cracker. This circle just eroded the barrier in an already weak location. Usually this place's owner keeps the doorway nice and clear. Oh well, mistakes happen, right? Just let her know to have a look at it, okay? Absolutely, she and I are going to have a long talk. Yeah! Was this in the fine print? Because if it wasn't, I need a raise, alright? I need lots of raises. Jeez, Haha, it was no trouble. He starts to squeeze the cracker. If you know how anything works, it's easy to destroy it. The shell snaps open and he starts to dig the meat out. Teleporia appears at his hands, watching closely as he dismantles the creature. Would you like some?
Pah! And waste time preparing my own meal? My beefsteak is delicious, peon.
Suit yourself, but you're missing out.
On what? Steak is filled with calories for fuel and proteins, which are the building blocks of DNA. Name one thing that makes your meal the superior dish.
I start to take a step back. They're eating. I can leave them in peace. Time to get back out of here before...
Human Shweebe the Fabulous!
God dang it. Great. Yes, ma'am?
Remain here and bear witness to my would-be mate's crushing defeat.
Yes, ma'am. There are a few things I want less than to say in the same area as these two, especially if they're going to fight. Sweetie, you know I would never want to argue with you. I respect your opinions at all times, even when they're wrong. Oh, he's got a death wish. Oh, just look at her face. She's like, excuse me? No.
I am a deity. You cannot comprehend the depths of my knowledge. If I should make a statement, then it is surely so.
Oh yes, she's so deeply infallible that her first time out in public in the 1800s, she ran screaming from an accordion player, having literally never seen, in untold millennia of existence, anything like it. Oh, she's getting pissed. I guess she was lucky that they weren't bagpipes, huh? Oh, wow. She freaking cut him! Ah! She lunges across the table, steak knife flying. Before he could even move, she stabs him 3 times, knife driving down to the hilt with each thrust. Well, where he got stabbed, it looks like it's not fatal injuries. But if he's immortal, and it sounds like she's already tried to kill him several times, he should be fine, right? Hendrik coughs, blood dripping from his chest. He didn't move a finger to defend himself. One of those stabs must have gotten him in an organ, at least the large intestine and possibly his lungs, somewhere up there. And it's not like he can't feel it. His face is skewed up from the intensity of the attack. I suppose that was uncalled for, wasn't it, sweetie?
I'm sorry I missed what you said because it sounded like you were spinning lies to the human.
Never, darling. At a complete loss, I pull an extra napkin from my apron and hand it over to Hendrik.
So, human, have I won the argument?
I'm gonna say yes, because I won't survive that. Maybe we should not have given her the damn steak knife. Pretty definitely.
Ha!
Now, knifeless, she picks up her steak and rips a chunk off with her teeth. Did we need to bother giving her the damn knife? We could have saved Hendrik from getting stabbed.
Let that be a lesson to all.
I won't be forgetting that anytime soon. So before I go, is everything to your liking? Is the food, powering your true form enough?
Silly, Shweebe the Fabulous. When in my true form, I do not consume human fuel. This human template, what did you call it?
Hendrik's caught mid-bite and he covers his mouth to respond. Human Sonia.
My human Sonia, it consumes calories, inhales oxygen, excretes feces, all the same as yourself, I assume.
Wow! I never expected to have a restaurant patron ask if I breathe in poop, but here we are.
But my true form requires something much more deeply sustaining.
She stares me down. Please don't eat me. I am not on the menu! Please don't eat me. She looks at my teeth again. It's bone? Or is it bone marrow? She looks me in the eye. She holds that eye contact and waits. I try not to squirm, but my moxie is inadequate for the situation. She waits. Fear? And then laughs. I can breathe again.
Delicious! A light dusting of fear. Nothing too overwhelming.
Okay. That I can work with. She's just doing specific things that will make us go, okay, interesting. If that doesn't strike her as much fear, please let me never ever learn what does. So, you eat fear then?
It falls under my purview.
Suffering. Sweetie's true form eats concepts, and she builds her human Sonias to have quite the taste for them too. Any form of important emotion can sustain her, but she's picky.
I am not. Suffering is the only thing worth eating. Eating anything else would be beneath me.
It's okay, whatever you eat. I love you just the way you are.
And I would like you much better with several more stab wounds to the head.
Anytime, sweetie. Okay! Okay. No, not in the restaurant, you two! Though I managed to sneak away for the next 15 minutes, I know that I'll eventually have to return. I try to strike up a conversation with the line cooks again. So how do you guys feel about the recent tentacle invasion? Of course nobody responds. Yeah, it's hard to really put it into words, huh? No response, dishes, click. I guess the spooky atmosphere has a certain charm, but I don't think I'll catch on with the baby boomers. Conventional wisdom says that they like elegance or rustic charm. And Midwestern moms are not into dripping fluids. I mean, as a general group. I don't want to assume individual taste. This gets boring quickly, so after the appropriate waiting period, I head back over. Well, he doesn't have more stab wounds, so that's a good sign. So thank you for dining with us tonight. Get out! I did it. I made it through the evening. I'm tempted to not even give them a check, just to rush them out right out of the door. But I refuse to slip up now. It's been a delight getting to know the both of you. How kind of you. You know, I was planning on heading out, but you know what?
I couldn't care less if I attempted and am very powerful. I am capable of caring far less than most humans could in their most apathetic dreams.
Let's do dessert. God dang it! I was so close! This close to getting them out! Oh, okay. I look from his smiling face to Teleporter's cruel one. I know how this goes. Let's make a recommendation. Chocolate tort for the delightful couple. Do you feel like drinking? I sure do. After dinner brandy? Fuck it! Caution to the wind. Bananas froster flambe. I have no idea what that is. I've never heard of that. How about we do chocolate tort for the delightful couple? Must remain professional. Everyone loves chocolate. Go with the safe option. Don't screw around when you're so close to the end of this. That is not true. I have met at least 3 people in my life that don't like chocolate anything, and they are bizarre. That's all I can say. They're very bizarre. I don't understand. So close! Bring it on, Miss Shweebe the Fabulous. The torts here do better after a few hours setting up in the cooler, so they aren't made to order. I grab a couple and some spoons in return. Teleporia, wow, doesn't seem to be a fan, but at least she doesn't make a scene. Hendrik asks for the check, and I rush off and get it ready in record time. He takes the check. He seems to do a bit of calculation in his head, then lays down some cash.
Well, this evening wasn't a complete waste of time and effort. Organ ravioli.
Hendrik looks up at her.
You may have one short, friendly embrace.
Okay, he jumps to his feet, arms wide open to hug her, and one of her tentacles slams into him, throwing his body across the room. Wow, she is a cruel mistress. It slams into the wall and ragdolls to the ground.
Hug transaction complete.
Oh no, did you just kill him? She heaves a sigh.
If only I were so lucky. No, human, I have merely rendered him unconscious.
Well, that's good.
Via severe cranial hemorrhaging.
That's bad!
He will sleep it off. I've ripped off his limbs before. He can take it.
She looks almost fawn. What is Hendrik? What? She gets up, walks over to him, and grabs him by the foot.
I suppose it is time to return him to his residence.
She perks up.
Or I can abandon his body in a trash unit. Perhaps nobody will find him, and he will be placed inside a trash compactor.
And she turns to drag him away. I ask, Miss Teleporia? She turns, quizzical.
Human, I am departing. You've made it through this evening unscathed. You have little to no ability to comprehend how fortunate that makes you. But I suggest you make an attempt.
I clear my throat. I think I'm trapped. I gesture around at the restaurant.
Oh, yes. I'd forgotten. Your world usually has even more light, does it not?
She shrugs.
Well, I had no hand in this.
And with that, she waves aside a tentacle and marches through the front door. Hendrik's head thuds against the ground as she walks down the staircase and out of sight. When I hear the front door close... What? Another server bumps me in the shoulder stepping past. They give me a dirty look and keep heading their way. But excuse me! Did nobody see this? What? Just like that, I'm back. I get moving, clearing the table, scooping up the check. I check the tip. 40%! That's really good. Very few people will do 40%. I might not... it might not cover emotional distress, but it'll cap off the shift well. Heck yeah, this was quite the experience. But for my own safety, I think I'm going to skip the 2 weeks notice. I came here to learn something new, and I'd say that goal was more than accomplished. I got ending number 4, a hug goodbye. Well, thank goodness for that. Alright, so that was the hug ending, which thankfully allowed us to keep us in one piece. I will go ahead and cover the other endings in the next couple episodes, so I hope y'all looking forward to that. In the meantime, thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's hear them. May I take your order from an eldritch goddess who thankfully didn't kill me this time. Battle cries. Woo! Yeah! I'll see you guys in the next episode.